Welcome back to Conquering College. As always, I'm your host, Jeff Anderson. In this second video, we are going to create your term calendar. One of the principles of Conquering College is that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. In this case, we're going to spend a little bit of time up front before the academic term starts to look at our term calendar, and the hope is we can use this as a resource later to avoid stress and to avoid wasting energy. Let's jump right in. The first step of creating your term calendar is actually to get a blank template of your term calendar. To do this, you want to make sure that it's a monthly calendar, so it goes month to month and includes all days of the month, including Saturday and Sunday. The first month in this calendar should be the month that includes the first day of instruction, and the second month in this calendar, the last month in this calendar should be include the last day of final exam. So you want the entire academic term, whether that be quarter or semester. An example of how you might get this for free is to use your iCal print option. Here, I'm a Mac user. If you're not a Mac user, we'll talk about that in a second. We go on to iCal, we go up into the File menu, and we push Print. Here, what we'll see is that you can control by month. We're going to assume that we're on a quarter, and we're going to assume that quarter starts in September 2015. So I go ahead and choose the first month of the calendar is going to be September 2015. We'll assume that it goes through December 2015. I like to turn off all the options. I want my academic term calendar to be super bare. All I want is the days and the months. So I turn off all these options, and then I go ahead and I'm going to open this as a PDF in Preview. So I go ahead and open this in the PDF just so that I can make sure that it has everything that I want. We check that it starts in September 2015, goes all the way through December 2015. We're satisfied that this is going to be a good template, so let's go ahead and print this. So here we go. We push Print. Okay, so that's what you could do if you own a Mac. If you don't own a Mac or you don't have iCal, you can always use the template that I provided for you in the link below. So this is an MS Word document, Microsoft Word. It's a blank term calendar. The downside of this is that you actually have to fill in the days, but the nice thing is that you have complete control over the sizes of the days, how you write them, the font, all of that. So here, we'll go ahead and assume the same time frame. We start in September 2015. I go ahead and just fill out the entire month. This doesn't take that long, actually. I think to format this entire thing probably takes less than 5 minutes. So we go all the way down through September, through the end of the month. Then we start in October 2015, and we just go ahead and fill that out completely. Okay, so the major idea here is that we have a blank academic calendar. We're now going to begin with the second step, which is to fill that in with important registration dates. To get those registration dates, we're going to go ahead and Google search academic calendar for your institution. In this case, we'll go ahead and use an example for Foothill College. This college is where I teach. So we type academic calendar fall 2015, which is the month that we're assuming that, or the term, and then Foothill College. Top link was exactly what we wanted. We go ahead and search for the appropriate time. A lot of times when you click on these, you actually have to sift through information. I'm looking for important registration dates. I don't see it in this top part. There it is, important dates for fall 2015. You'll see that the first day of instruction is included, drop deadline, late registration, late drop, academic holidays, final exams. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. I wanted to share with you another resource that is often helpful that institutions will provide, which is an entire year-long academic calendar. So here we go, academic calendar, Foothill College, and then I'm going to type the entire academic year, in this case 2015 through 2016. I go ahead and Google search that. Nice thing about Google, the top result is exactly what I wanted. I type on this, and you'll see that you have the entire academic year. This includes holidays, all final exam days, important registration days. This is what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and print that and get that out. So once we have those academic days, we're going to go ahead and transfer those onto our blank calendars. Make sure to include all of the following: the first day of instruction, deadline to drop for a full refund. Oftentimes, if you drop before a certain date, you can get all your money back, and that's kind of a nice thing to know about. There's also what a lot of institutions call a deadline for a late drop or a withdrawal, and that's a drop after the deadline for a full refund, but you can still get out without a letter grade. Include all academic holidays, and the last day of instruction is really important to know about. The first and last days of final exams, include that whole spectrum, and then any other important registration days. This may be the deadline to declare what they call a pass or non-pass. I would include that. Anything else that you see listed that probably you should know about, put those in. Okay, now that we have the important registration dates, what we're going to do is add your final exam schedule, the one customized to your class. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open a copy of your class list, class schedule, and then you're going to Google search final exam schedule for your institution. So here we go. I'm going to go look for Foothill College final exam schedule, and I go ahead and include the term, which is fall 2015. I look right at the top. First one I see is here. A lot of times we have to actually sift through this, so you have to compare your class schedule with a posted final exam schedule. Read through. There's some nice directions that will help you out. Get the dates of your final exams as well as the times, and we're going to put those into the blank academic calendar. This is super helpful to do this before the quarter starts. Okay, so what we've done is we've got a blank calendar. We've filled in all important registration dates. We filled in our upcoming final exams for those things. When you fill in your final exams, I think it's important to fill in the date of your final exams, the time slot, from what time to what time will that final exam go, and also the location, building and room number if that's appropriate. That way there's no confusion later in the quarter. When you look back, you know exactly when and where you're supposed to be. Last thing that we're going to do is to actually fill out all the important personal dates and activities that you have. These may include birthdays of families and friends. You better put your birthday in because you're probably going to want to celebrate. Important family or religious events, scheduled weddings or graduation ceremonies. Those are usually scheduled far in advance. If you have them, put them on there. Extracurriculars, if you're a student athlete, you got to put in important sports days, days for the competitions that you have and the final, playoffs and all that. Travel, local events, anything that you think that you should know about. Medical appointments, routine medical appointments or special appointments, put those on there. The last thing that I'll say is when you're putting your important personal ones, contact your family and friends and check to see if you're missing anything. You want to know all the important dates before the quarter begins or before the term begins so that as you go on, you can plan your time out accordingly. Okay, fill out that blank template, get those important dates in. I'll see you in the next video where we analyze this term calendar. I'll see you there.